A very warm welcome today in the podcast Skillionaires, the podcast where stories stick and strategies scale. And today's guest is Arena Ariniti, who is a visionary, entrepreneur and philanthropist whose work bridges innovations, human development and social transformation. As a co-founder of a technology unicorn and a founder of Ariniti Future of Humankind Foundations, she has quickly become prominent voice in the conscious of a leadership, international capitalism and community design. Based in Dubai, her initiative spans continents and discipline, from sustainable ecosystems to women empowerment and creative collaborations. She is here today in my podcast, and I say happy welcome, very warm welcome here, Arina, and welcome in Dubai.
Thank you so much for such a warm welcoming. I really appreciate your invite to be here with you. Thank you.
I wanted to go and jump in right away because when I saw in the preparation of this interview that you have to do something with the unicorn, my ears got very wide and big, and I wanted to know more how to become a unicorn and when do you know it is one and you develop in this direction.
It's very much related to your inner discipline and also to your mindset. Mm. It's extremely important because my company achieved its unicorn status in only 2.5 years of this existence. Mm-hmm. And when I was talking to my ex-husband, that I said in 3 years I want to achieve such and such level, I want to have a house in the best neighborhood, and I want to travel business class, and I want to do this and that. And he said, no, it's not possible. No one achieves this status is in only 3 years. Mm-hmm. It's going to take minimum of 5 years. Mm-hmm. I said, no, for us it's going to take 3 years. Mm-hmm. And in 2.5 years, we achieved our valuation of $1.5 billion.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's you have to believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to be persistent. Mm-hmm. And working on your mindset non-stop, every day. Mm-hmm. Self-development, self-growing, all kind of taking care of your body, of your energy, of your mental health, yeah. Of your environment. You have to make sure that you rely not on outer things like your outer success or your relationship or your money, but in your inner values.
Energy is the key as well. I know that you are very aligned with your energy work, and I heard already a lot about in the preparation of this interview. Arina, I wanted to jump in a little bit into what motivated you in the first place to have a unicorn? I mean, when I started the business, I didn't even know 30 years ago what was a unicorn. That only came alongside when I grew, and that there was such an achievement, such a specification about having a company that's a unicorn with a special revenue, a special size, in a special time.
It wasn't that I was building specifically a unicorn, but I wanted to get rich. Mm-hmm. I wanted to get rich to have a freedom of choice, to have security in your life, and to fulfill my mission. Because my philanthropical mission right now is to build paradise on earth and to make humanity happy as much as I can. Because I went through this path and now I can share with others how to go from zero, because I know poverty as well. And I was born in a very poor family, and I am like self-made master, you know, and now I teach other people how to achieve your goals, how to fulfill your dreams, how to follow your mission.
I find it fascinating when you said your ex-husband said, you cannot do this.
Yes.
And I wanted to know from you, because I know from me, when somebody says it's not working, I'll try it anyway. And that's much more a push to me to achieve. How did it affect your drive, your vibe, your motivation when somebody says it's not working or you cannot do it?
This is my major strengths. That I understood. If you adjust yourself, if you try to meet someone's expectations, you're not going anywhere. You're not living your own life. You try to match someone's vision of yourself, but it's not you. But if you want to pursue your dreams, you have to go for it. And no one should be able to stop it. But it took me many years. And my ex-husband was in a way a teacher in that matter. When he was telling me, you cannot do it, you're nothing. I mean, I would remember my childhood, how my father would tell it to me. And I'm like, no. Now I am a grown-up adult and I'm not doing it to myself anymore. And every time he would say, like, reminded me my father, I'm like, no, this time I'm going to do differently. I don't want to revive my childhood traumas over and over again. So my ex-husband was teaching me in a way. He was my teacher in that way. He was
That's so good.
the one who was pushing me towards achieving. And after there were no lessons left, we just divorced. He just left me.
We're going to go a little bit in this subject later on, because it's also something important for being an entrepreneur and how to deal with your private life. But I wanted to know what you're exactly doing in this technology company, the unicorn company that you scaled. And when did you realize, okay, now I have it? That's the big scaling point. Tell us a little bit about the product, where you help people, what you're exactly doing with that, and where is the tangible point?
You know, I was more like inspiration to my husband, who is a technology guy. And we created this product. It's a workflow product. And I was kind of like behind the scenes, and because I am very much connected to the higher powers, and I was seeing the big picture. And I remember we had once this story. We had the next investment round, and we had an opportunity to sell 1% of the company, which was already evaluated at 1.5 billion. I said, hey, this is the time to sell 1%. And he said, no, maybe not. I say yes, because he knew that when I see the big picture and when he does what I say, it kind of happens the right way. And after we did it, and big investors invested money into this, the whole market has crashed. The market has crashed, and company valuation lowered down 2 times. Like it started to cost less than $1 billion, like $800 million. And all these investors that lost money at this time on this deal, they approached my husband and said, How did you do that? Tell us the secret. What is the secret? He said, oh, my wife made her magic. I don't know. She made her magic. Don't ask me.
Okay.
So it was like advising more than, than doing some technical things inside the company.
So it's a workflow company or a technology that enhances workflows behind the scene in companies. That's what it is. Okay.
It's an open source product. Yes.
Okay. Very interesting. So then you have sold 1% of it, and that was your gateway to basically.
Yeah, so the next day I woke up having $15 million on my account.
Okay.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you know, this like all these stories when you woke up millionaire right away.
Was this, Arina, then the point where you had encountered also your wish to make the world a better place and a happy place, and also navigate into the foundation part that I just mentioned? Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, I understood at once that money is not a goal, because they don't fulfill you. If you're empty inside, they wouldn't fulfill you. If you're unhappy, they wouldn't make you happy. So money couldn't be a goal, but it could be a tool.
It is a tool. It is energy, actually, isn't it?
And it's tremendous energy, and the energy has to flow. You cannot just throw it to your bank account and they stuck there. Yeah, it gives you a little percent, little babies. But what is happening with adult of this money? You know, these bankers and investors, they do something with your money, but you don't know what they're doing, what kind of products they invest in, and why don't you invest your money in something bigger, in some like bigger mission? Why don't you make people happy or do something really big with that, you know? And this is how my mission started. And I've realized that the person is rich of not they have in the bank account, but what they give to others. This is what fulfills you much more, and it gives you the sense of belonging. And when you make so many people around you happy, when you build this amazing place, I call it paradise. I built paradise on earth. I say it, heaven on earth, one paradise at a time. And when people living in love to nature, to each other, enjoying their life, they stop fighting, they stop worrying, they stop struggling. They just enjoy, they co-create. Co-create with each other, with earth, with nature. They dedicate their time into creating something beautiful, you know, into creating happy future for themselves and for their children.
This sounds like a big mission. And of course, then you have this entrepreneurial background, the support or the inspiration of your ex-husband. And tell us a little bit about the now. You are here in Dubai. I heard you are here since 3 or some months. Let us a little bit dive in. Why Dubai? And what is your motivation to be in this city, especially at this very special times where we have some political challenges that we undergo now?
You know, Dubai inspires me because it has such a big concentration of business people, of spiritual people, of entrepreneurs, and it gives so much opportunities for everyone. And also what I like about it, that they have Ministry of Happiness. And Ministry of Happiness, they care so much about people being happy.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing I practice within my communities, but my communities are still small. But here it's on a bigger scale. And so everyone can find a way for them to flourish if they do the right thing. You know, and for me, it's an amazing time here. The weather is perfect, and I love the architecture, the art, you know, because everywhere everything is handmade. Like in Costa Rica, where I build my paradises, it's nature-made beauty, and here is human-made, handmade beauty.
That is such a nice correlation between the two of them.
Yes, and I like this saying that gods fulfill their dreams with human hands. You know, so God has a dream, Creator has a dream, and He wants the dream to be fulfilled with our hands, with people's hands.
Yeah.
And this is what we do in Costa Rica, we build paradise with our hands. And here it's already built in a way, because such an amazing architecture, just such an amazing museums and art. So it inspires me a lot of human potential, because I am so much into the human potential and what human can do with their hands, with their mindset, all these engineers that create these amazing projects. It just gives me tremendous inspiration.
Very, very good, Arina. When it comes to leadership, your community, you just mentioned your community. When it comes to scaling, this podcast is about scaling and the stories that stick behind. It is also, and you mentioned human potential, it is also about leading a team. With the unicorn company that you built up, had you have some team, and what is your leadership style? And also in the community, you must be somehow the person who's leading with motivation, with the direction, inspiration, with all kind of things. I'm interested to pick your brain actually on that part of leadership and scaling opportunities.
I have a special education in psychology and coaching, different types of coaching, different types of psychology. I have a few diplomas, and I've been learning and studying my whole life. It's never ending process. The more you know, the more you understand that you don't know anything.
Yes, that's what my saying as well.
So I don't ever go to the pride state like I know everything. No, I mean you constantly learning and you constantly adjusting yourself, because I always have 1 or 2, sometimes 3 personal coaches, and they show me my flows from different ways. I'm like, oh my God. So of course, as everyone else, I do mistakes, and I do financial mistakes and all kinds of mistakes. But the way to success is just look, you fall down, you get up, and you continue going.
Exactly. Yeah.
So neither of the mistake have to stop you. It have to teach you something, and you try to learn the lesson as soon as possible and keep going. This is the major way to success. Just keep going, keep going. Get rid of your perfectionist way side or whatever. Just keep going, keep fulfilling, keep working on yourself. So it's constant work. And the higher I go, things in my personality that come up from very deep, and I have to work even more. But as I said, working on my mindset, on my physical body, on my energy body, on my spirit, all the time.
I think it only speaks for you as a good leader to have this in alignment of seeing people and forgive if you have any, or if they done mistakes. Forgive yourself also if you done mistakes. So the mistake culture, or the culture of making mistakes, it's in my understanding also something that I celebrate every mistakes, especially here in Dubai, when people out of different cultures have sometimes in my team done a mistake. I had already happened that they wanted to give actually the resignation, and I said, no, you did this mistake, you have to stay until XYZ, you paid off this mistake because this costed X amount of money, and you let us learn all of it. And that is something that I think only speaks for some good leader that actually fosters a mistake relation or a mistake culture like that. Very good. Yeah.
Yes, and I also work with my team. We have meeting. We have coaching session, group coaching session, and I coach them on different subjects, on leadership, on finances, on mindset. So I work with my team closely because consciousness level of my team is very high. Is much higher than anyone else's team. You know, so I teach them how to learn from your mistake, not how to be destroyed by your mistakes or lifestyle. But sometimes people cannot keep up with my speed.
That's happened.
Yes.
That happens.
Yes.
I experienced that too. And if you be very fast, then, but then again, I think also out of respect towards the people, they don't have to, some people, they're just going a while along with you and your speed, and then they part ways. And that leads me to exactly the next question, which I already asked or mentioned I wanted to ask about when entrepreneurs are scaling their business, when entrepreneurs are growing their business. Yeah, the private part of it, the partner is, I think, a very important part of it, because if you don't speak the same language for entrepreneurship, then interests are parting ways. If you cannot take your partner alongside your journey, it's hard to keep up, because entrepreneurship is something so spiritual. I think if they don't keep up with this and can't follow also, what is your secret to either, as you said already from your ex-husband, to say, okay, this is it, let's part ways, so that we have a good relationship as friends maybe? And what is your secret maybe, or your learning out of this, to foster a relationship that holds together along this journey of entrepreneurship?
Now I'm staying in solitude, and it's a tremendous time to know yourself better. And to heal your own wounds, and to feel your own holes. And before you complete a whole person, if you need something from someone, then it's not the right path.
Yes.
So I heal myself from my child traumas, from my relationship traumas, from everything. So I give total attention to relationship with myself. And this is the most important part, because you are the only person in your life that's gonna stay with you until the end of this life. That would be loyal to you, it would always stay to you. You cannot rely on anyone else for that. And you're the closest person to yourself. And if you were able to build relationship with yourself, then you can start building relationship with others. And what happened in this world, that people, without building relationship with themselves, without knowing themselves, carrying lots of traumas, lots of conflicts inside them, they go to next relationship. They seek for validation. And when you stay in solitude and you understand that you don't need validation from anyone and you don't need partner for that, I want to find a partner to co-create together.
Yes.
To fortify each other, not to get something from him. I don't want him to get something from me. Let's unite our strengths and make each other stronger. If you want something from me, you will make me weaker. I don't want it. And I don't need anything from you. And this is how you become a co-creators of life, of reality, of everything. I want the whole person, the whole man who already built relationship with himself, who already accepted his own demons, in a way, his own shadows. And I am responsible for my hell. Inside me, and you are responsible for yours. You don't reflect on me your problems and your expectations. I don't reflect on you. And this is how we can become co-creators of something new, something amazing. And if a man, no, let's see, I want to be valued for who you are. And I am not agreeing for someone just telling me I cannot do this, I am bad in this or whatever. No, if you accept me the way I am and you love it about me, let's go together. If you want to show me my flaws and what's wrong with me, then probably we are not right match anymore. You know?
I think when you are entrepreneur and you have a partner and you are not managing to take them along the journey of development, because entrepreneurship is a development and a spiritual journey, then it is somehow growing apart.
Yes.
And having that, then you have to, out of the perspective to be the most closest person to yourself, you have to then, out of respect and love to yourself, to say, okay, cut, we have to stop being a couple. We can be anything else, but the couple situation is not working because you're going this direction, I go this direction. So I think it is something most important of an entrepreneur, whether it's a man or a woman, to make a decision on this part, either to go at the same path or make a decision that you wanted to go somewhere else. And doing so, it's sometimes really tough. But I think divorces or any kind of these relationship traumas will bring only harm to the business, don't you think?
Yeah, what I learned through this divorce, which is very good, which is helping me in my business right now, is letting go. Letting go of people. Letting go of expectations. And now it creates a very healthy dynamic for me, because I'm not grabbing, I'm not attached to someone. And, you know, these attachments to either loved one or for someone at your work or for your relatives or for your friends, it doesn't serve us. Because this attachment, they attach us to something which might not work for us anymore, and maybe for a long time. So letting go, what I learned a lot along this process. And now it's very easy, letting go of people, of situations, of problems, of places, because when you're attached to a specific place, you're kind of stuck in this place. So now for me, it's very easy to be in a flow, because I go with the flow, you know, because I don't have any these attachments. It's really easy for me to let go, and it was the biggest lesson for me in ending this relationship.
Very good. Very good that you let us be part of this journey of yours. And I wanted to maybe pick your brain on that last point that I wanted to ask you. Do you know that there is in Dubai an library which is going to be built in a very nice house that's also going to be built? But I'm aware that this library holds 1,000 books. And those books are from entrepreneurs which would have chosen the book if they would have to go to the moon and could only take one book. So if you would have been asked what book you would take, what book you would put in this library for everybody else, what you say, it's so important.
It's booked called Two Lives, Две жизни in Russian. And it's written about, you know, we call it in Russian настольная книга, table book. So this is the only book I would take with me. It's amazing book. It's from Russian writer, and it's telling how to live life. It's called Two Lives because we as people, we live two lives. One life on earth, on this reality, physical reality, and the other life, our spiritual life with God, let's say. Because we have people, have God, right? And how to unite these two lives in one. How to live in divine, and the same time in human reality. It's very interesting books with so many ideas. Like every page, you can write down you know, quotes from this book. So amazing book, yes.
Very good, very interesting. And one more last question, Arina. What would you advise somebody who wants to also build up a unicorn?
start developing your consciousness and your mindset. This is the first thing. Without the proper mindset, nothing's going to happen.
Well, that's a very good thing. Mindset is ultra important for having a good business. I mean, there is, as I said, nothing more spiritual than being an entrepreneur, and mindset development is every minute of the way an essential thing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me pick your brain. And if you like this episode, please share it. Give us the attention of a thumb up, activate the bell, find all of the informations in the show notes or in the info box. We connect you with Arina, and I'm happy to have you here for the next episode.
Thank you very much.